बस let's just check कि is it audible or not. The-
audible,
हाँ.
yes.
नहीं, it's audible to you, but like in the in the live chat ना. Amit, can you speak something? It's audible to you, but like in the live chat.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I can hear.
No, I'm checking your voice.
Sound lag आ रही है.
There is some lag. It's audible. Great. Yeah, so let's start. So, guys, first of all, thank you for coming. So, we already have had 2 tests so far, and I would say that both the outcomes were unexpected. In the first match, we were expecting that that India is gonna win, but in the second innings, India dropped the ball, and in the second match, the uh, prediction was that it's going to be a bowling friendly pitch and it's going to be tough to bat on it. And given that we were batting first in the first innings, so um, the hopes were not so great for India, and England were favored, but uh, the series got tied 1-1. So let's just see what can we expect for the next match, and whether England is going to overpower India and take the lead back, or India with Bumrah in most likely gonna dominate in the bowling part again. So let's start with that.
So I would say that what you said is correct, but cricket is a game of probabilities. It will have uncertainties to it. The first test that you spoke about, 5 centuries, still we lost. Second test, hoping there will be a very different track, but resulted in a very different outcome. Gill performing exceptionally, with hits and performance from Siraj coming in as bowling department, predominantly helped India win it. Now we're moving towards Lords. With Lords, we have had some successes. The last match that we played in Lords was a success where uh, Shami and Bumrah in the batting department actually helped us
Yeah.
win that match.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we can remember the six
And
which Shami hit to complete his half century.
But also in the last match, I feel even though we won, but I think going till 600, that felt like India was not confident that they can declare at 500 and all. Like they were not confident in their bowling, but actually we did pretty well. It's a very different ball game, to be honest, because the track wasn't as expected. And then, to be honest, we were playing with a lot. We are actually playing with a lot of newcomers. What, 7, 8 test match odd players. So there is an uncertainty. Hence, you can see that in the selection of the team as well, because you now have what you're trying to get as many batsmen as possible. Correct. So if you see the depth of batting, it goes till as long as Nitish, Nitish and Washington Sundar. Correct. So that only leaves you 4 bowlers. But I think that's the depth that we play with, and that's because there is newcomers, but that's a given. Like you create a team around that spectrum. What you think would happen.
Yes, but does it also creates problem for you, like in a team selection? Because if I'm right, the squad which England has selected, I think it has 2-3 players lesser than India, which they have brought in for this series. so it gives them lesser options and maybe more confidence in their players.
Obviously, having a very stable team at the core is predominant, but you also need to understand the kind of talent that India has been producing over the last 10 years. To say, you can thank IPL for it. We already had that sort of talent, but that talent now is nurtured in the IPL, and also the hesitation because now they're playing IPL and they are getting exposure to international players at that very front, right? They understand how they play, how they go, what is the psyche of an international player coming in. So that helps for them to be groomed. And the major factor would be that earlier, I think being stable enough in monetary terms is also a factor because earlier when you were coming, you were dicey from the front because okay, you're a newcomer, you have to perform to stick in the team. I'm just not talking about the playing for the India being a pride that is always there, that will be there, right? But also a monetary component to it, right? If that is somewhat relaxed in your days, you know that okay, if I don't perform, I still have that money coming in through other sources, which is fine. Here what I need to do is enjoy the game thoroughly.
But don't you think exposure is fine, like that you get the exposure of an international player in IPL, but like I think IPL and a Test cricket is a different ball game altogether. So I think still the people who are coming for Test is coming through the Ranji circuit and all under 19.
And also see, adding to that point, if I am picking up a team, right? So I'm bringing in new players. Okay, I'm bringing in new players. I'm trying them, but given that that I'm not the team is not playing that same player in at least 5 matches, at least in a series, right? So wouldn't it affect the confidence of a player? Like he got selected and then in the next match he is dropped and another player is picked up. So doesn't it affect the confidence of player?
It does, but then we're not here to tailor to a player. We're not here to build somebody's career, right? It's a national level sport. You're representing a country. What your outcome should be is your country winning the games, right? You're representing a country. What right now, where India is right now, is where a lot of senior players have just retired, and we are still in a verge of recreating a team, at least the core members of the team. And when I say core members, I'm assuming that there will be a solid captain, a solid wicketkeeper, a bowling department leader who leads that, and then you have your specialist like
Opening
specialist and all-rounder. So all those sort of players will come and go, and you will probably in the coming 1 year you will find that your core team will be there. 7-8 players who will stick around, and then 3-4 players will come and go on the rotation basis. And that has always been the strategy. And it's due to the fact that okay, sometimes you see that some players don't perform in certain subcontinent conditions, or some would get injured. And obviously, right now, because we have that sort of a bench strength right now, you would see that we are not overburdening somebody's to a strength where they can actually get injured. For example, Bumrah did not play at Western's game because we had the talent to actually give him a rest.
But do you think it was a right decision being like 1-0 and having a what you say? I think 8 to 10 days of a rest. Shouldn't Bumrah would have played?
Yeah, there was a longer rest in between the first and second match. Yes.
I'm okay with it. So if you see Jofra Archer, who's I'm assuming that he'll come back in the third match in Lords.
Yeah,
right?
Expected.
He's taken a break from 4 years.
Oh.
You need to understand that test match is not a 4 to 5 hours of a game or like a T20. It's a solid dedication. You in a day you are bowling 30 overs. In a good scenario, in a one day you bowl only 10 overs. Right? You're not bowling 10 overs. You're bowling in 10 overs is like 60 balls. A fast bowler giving 60 balls with that same dedication takes a hell lot of things. So you are prone to injuries, you are prone to exhaustion, and a lot of things. And you need to understand that you have to give them rest. Bumrah is our leading bowler in that department, right? You have to think about from that perspective. You don't want a similar case of Jofra Archer, where he got injured for so long that he's been out of the test, not being able to do his national duties for the test team.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense. But coming back to your point, see, I was earlier talking about not just to keep, not just that the switching of players, switching players between the games drop their confidence. Of course, it will get affected, but it also provides you more stability in the team, right? It's not just from a perspective of a player. I mean, see, if I am picking, if like Ganguly used to say, right, that these are my players and I am going to pick them and I know they will perform, they will give 100%, right, and I can trust them. So that's the thing. If you know that these are your players, like for a captain, he knows that these are the 15 players I'm going to take every time, unless some injury occurs or anything, right?
But that will happen, which is fine, because you also need to understand when this statement by Ganguly was said, he was at his peak of captaincy.
Yeah.
Right? The same players, when and there was a phase when Sachin was leading, did not perform. Right? Sachin understood that he was not capable of drawing the best out of those players. So he moved out. And also his individual contribution also fell because of that pressure that is there. Gill has just become that captain, right? He's that in his initial stage where he's trying to find the zone. Okay, the right balance between the batsman, what sort of a bat talent he wants, the bowlers that he would want to work around with. Okay.
But do you think the current team, is it a Gill team or is it a Gambhir team? Like, what is the correct? I feel it's more currently now it's a Gambhir team than a Gill team.
See, if it's a Gambhir team, okay, for example, the Gambhir will never be playing the game, right?
Yeah,
he can give his suggestions. You can, as a captain, you can turn around a lot of decisions within that within the boundary levels, right? There are a lot of things here. If it's a Gambhir team, then every call has to be made by Gambhir. But that's not that never happens.
But yeah, the captain does have a say in the team selection, right? It's not up to them.
And to some extent, yes, the coaches do come into picture. But at a far-fetched level, you have to understand that the captain has to be the one drawing out the best potential, because he will do the rotations of the bowlers. He will position them. He will position the fielders. He will see how the batting lineup would go in.
No, but what I was coming to was this key, because as you said, right, we are trying to build a new team. So to build a new team, there are players who are coming playing fifth match, sixth test match of their life. So don't you think at least they deserve a 5 continuous chance before you drop them out? So that you know, okay, this is a player that I'm gonna stick for a longer time if they perform well. In one match, if they don't perform, and next time they are dropped out, and again somebody else is picked up.
No, but it's okay. I get your question and where you are coming from, but you need to understand that there are conditions for every person to how they play, right? There will be some 1 or 2 players who will only play a single test match and then move out because they did not perform. And because it has to do with the balance of the team also. Okay, It's just not their individual contribution. You also need to understand that will they fit into the team. Uh, right now, the team that you see who's played at Edgbaston, right, on paper looks a weaker team.
Correct.
Looks very heavily batting oriented team. But then you see the performance. They nailed it.
Correct.
Siraj.
Akash Deep was a surprise, I think. Like it was a.
No, he was not. He was not a surprise. You need to understand that he performed well in Australia also. He performed well in India also when
Yes,
he was playing.
his previous records are good. Yes, so I
His
think
previous records have spoken about it, and hence that gives you a backing that okay, he's already played with certain sense of people, and he's coming with a good knock from the IPL also. He's performed there as well. I would not say like a best, but he's done his job there, giving lesser runs, taking a few wickets, and that's what the prime agenda is. You have to understand that. In the mix of finding that best balance of the team, there will be some upsets, and you'll make some people happy. But that's for the greater good. Right now, our focus would be that okay, if Bumrah comes in for Lords, who sits?
Yeah.
Will it be
yes,
Prasad Krishna or Akash Deep?
that's a $1,000,000 question. So I was thinking about it, and I think okay. So we also have a comment. We'll address to it. So I was thinking that if I am letting Prasiddh Krishna out, so I am so as a captain, I am removing a proper bowler from my team, right?
No, see, I am not saying that you will have to remove Prasad Krishna.
Yeah.
For me, I can. If you talk about my person choice, I would take out Nitish Reddy out. I'll have my 4 fast bowlers because I, as a person, would always prefer 4 fast bowlers to be in the team and 4 prominent fast bowlers. Akash Deep, Siraj, Prasad Krishna, Bumrah. Fast bowlers. Then you have 2 all-rounders, Washington Sundar, Jadeja, who can bowl and bat. I would expect Washington Sundar to be given more bowling responsibilities because you also need to understand that Ravindra Jadeja will not stick around a lot of years anymore.
Yes. So it can
You
maybe
also
a
need
couple
to
of years. Yeah.
and you also need to understand that though we might not recognize Ravindra Jadeja for what he's done for India team, he does. He bowls quick overs, so you'll understand that he's bowled 23, 24 overs in a day,
Correct.
and that too at an immaculate space.
And then when he bowls, I think over just passes by. You don't even realize that how.
Exactly.
That happens.
Yes.
And that's just not the test. It's one day. It's T20. The overs just passing by.
Correct.
Secondly, he gives you a little bit of stability in the batting order. A little down the order, but yes, he gives you that. And when he's not bowling or batting, he's just saving you runs, giving you wickets as a fielder, as a batsman and bowler, and as a batsman giving you runs. So a 360 player would not be there. So you have to have one backup as a all-rounder. I see Washington Sundar filling some shoes, but then he has to start bowling a bit more. And probably the last test, he bowled 6-7 overs. And similar were Nitish Reddy.
Yeah.
If you are taking them as a all-rounder, treat them as all-rounders because 6-7 overs. I remember that more than 6-7 overs were bowled by Yuvraj Singh, Sehwag, Raina.
Correct.
So all these bowlers, even I think Virat Kohli has bowled 6-7 overs in Test. So, and these are pure batsmen. They were never categorized as bowlers.
Yes, of course. Yes.
If you're planning to use them as batsmen, take proper batsmen. Okay.
Correct. But I think I think our track record is also like that. It's not just that. It's not that first time it is happening. Although I feel that it should be it should change. I think it's not the ideal practice, but we have done in the past, right? We have done it in the past, and we are doing it now also.
So, because that's a mentality of being very defensive. You can say that, okay, because I have a little lineage towards the Australian team, I always had my admirations towards what the Australians were doing. That is that. I'm not saying that I always was a big fan of Indian cricket team. Some years, yes, I was. Some players, yes, but never the whole team. You need to understand that you have to back your players a lot. If you say, okay, this is your department, you have to do this work, it is your responsibility. If the batsmen are not performing, you can't expect the bowlers or the all-rounders to just go in and score 200, 300 all runs. They will also struggle. So, my say is have one all-rounder or two all-rounders, but make them work as all-rounders. If the batsmen are there...
Just like what Kohli used to do, right? If you see the Kohli's captaincy in Test, like he used to always go with a full fast bowler, like in England.
Yeah, and that has changed. Yeah, because and then you can see the track record of Kohli in Test, and that's a defining one. And kudos to him, because what he did also resonates with my thought process of having 4 predominant bowlers. Yeah. If you ask me right
it's
now,
the nature of the player also, right? Kohli is always on the front foot. I mean,
yeah,
even he's performing, he's not performing, he's always on the front foot.
Yeah, and last
and to some extent, Ganguly was also like that, right?
I would say
but not
Kohli
exactly like
aggressive.
Kohli.
Yeah, I think I would say Kohli was the most aggressive Test captain that India has ever had.
Yes, because and by far that is the case. And last Lords was a very clear example where he just rained hell on England players with the 60 over. And I don't remember any Indian captain saying it very clearly in the huddles that your length will be a body length. Okay. I have seen that done by Mitchell Johnson for a very short period of time, where he bowled just bodyline bowling, which reminded me of old West Indian bowling lineup, where bodyline was a lethal weapon for the bowlers. Okay.
Yes.
And
that was the 80s, 70s, 80s, right?
Yes. And Mitchell Johnson did the same, where he came in fast, he hit the track, and every ball, all the 6 balls that he was bowling, was on the body of the batsman. It was not a illegal delivery, it was a legal delivery. He was within his rights, but that was the aggressive nature, how you want to perform. And then he was doing this in a Test match. Okay. Similar caliber Indians also have, and they have demonstrated that. If you ask me right now, we have the best bowling lineup. Everybody just needs to be fit enough to come back. Bumrah,
we have a set of good bowlers now. I mean, good Test bowlers, and yes, I think the most consistent one has been, of course, Bumrah. Performance wise, I'm saying. Performance wise, and fitness wise, of course, Siraj is there. He can bowl a lot of overs, and he always has that energy. I think it's the effect of maybe Kohli from RCB, but he has that energy all the time. He's always on the high.
He's young as well. You also need to understand that he's young. He's still 2-3 years.
Yes, there is an age difference for sure. Yeah, there is an age difference.
But then Shami is not there. I would have I would love to see him back in action.
Yeah, Shami is the stamina. Stamina filled bowler. He is the stamina.
Once Shami, Siraj, and Bumrah, if all 3 are there, I think then we have the best attack.
Not just these 3. Then you have Akash Deep and
young talent.
In the future, probably you will also see Akash Deep. Akash Deep is a pure left-handy bowler, left-hand bowler. Just love his bowling in the T20 that he's been bowling. Very consistent. He's taken the ownership when Bumrah was not there in the T20. He's done that. Similar to Siraj. It's just that he's not been given the opportunity to play in the test. He was selected in this as a player in the series, but hasn't got any opportunity. Looking forward to him performing as well. Prasadh Krishna, same again, a good red ball bowler. Hasn't performed in this series, but still a great talent.
Yeah.
So all in all, we have these 5-6 bowlers that are there. Obviously, within IPL, we've seen tremendous bowlers, batsmen, which can be part of. You have Rituraj Gaikwad is still missing from team. Sanju Samson. You have.
I don't know why
Pant.
Siraj Iyer is still missing from that team. I think he has
Siraj Iyer, yes.
everything. Like, all that tournament that you can think of, from Ranji to IPL to other trophies, but they're still not there.
I think it's a.
But it's again,
hard to
I
comment
mean,
on it.
you have a lot of players to select from, so it is.
India always.
I think it's a good problem to have for India.
Yeah.
That you have a lot of options
I
to try.
would not say it's a good problem.
No, but
having
it
too
always
many
is a
players-
good problem, right? I mean, yeah, it's a problem, but still, it's a good problem. You have the talent, you can use if something goes wrong, right?
Yeah, if you say so, I would not say it's a good problem.
Okay,
to
so
have,
what's your
but,
point in that? I mean, I disagree with you, but what's your reason?
See, I would always want to have player who are very consistent. I don't think that. So for
No,
me,
consistency
bottleneck,
is
as I
one
said,
thing, but let's say a couple of players get injured or like for some reason fitness
rotation
for
basis,
some
which is
fitness
correct.
reason they are not there in the team, so you have an option to replace them, right?
Yeah, which is correct. Totally agree on that.
So
But
basically, you have a reserve pool to choose from, and the reserve pool itself is like
we have a huge reserve pool there. So right now, if you
huge,
see,
huge,
we
huge.
have a if I want to create teams for other countries, I can literally create. We can create
Yes.
10 teams within India.
Exactly.
Okay, and if you want, we have had captains who've just within between matches started captaining other teams as well. Typical Dhoni, right?
True.
You've seen that. So
Yeah, we have seen. I think Pant was the one who was managing Bangladesh's fielding. Maybe,
He
if
was
I'm
not
not
saying you keep
there are six. There are six fielders inside the circle. So I mean,
that's the banter that we have. And now it's just.
Okay, so coming back to the all rounders we have. So since we have Jadeja is going to be there for like maybe a couple of years, and we hope that he plays for more, right? But age is always a factor. So, we have three all-rounders in this proper all-rounders in this series. Shardul Thakur is there, Nitish Kumar Reddy, and Washington Sundar, right? So, I mean, you need to groom at least one of them to replace Jadeja in the coming years, right? If you are using them like Shardul Thakur played in the last series in England as well, right? Nitish Kumar Reddy played against Australia a few months ago, right? And Washington Sundar, I'm not sure, but he is the player who comes in, goes out. He's like that, correct?
But that is a problem, no. The issue which I'll start with the same sequence that you said. Shardul Thakur, okay. Given too many opportunities, but in every test match that he's played, either he's performed as a batsman or as a bowler. Okay. In the first test this time?
Not in the last series, actually. Last series, I think in England he performed very well.
He was not predominantly like a bowling specialist there, because when I talk about all-rounder, He needs to be a batsman specialist
Hmm.
and a bowler specialist. So what I exactly mean is, if given the opportunity, has to score runs.
And
If
take
given
few
the
wickets.
opportunity, and not take wickets, either slow down the other run rate.
So you
for
assist,
the
yeah, you
opposition.
assist the other primary
You
bowler
assist
and
in taking the wickets, right?
yeah.
So that's very clear for me. Shardul has either done. I'm not saying he's a bad person, but a bad player. He's done either of the one in every test that he's played. Either a batsman or a bowler. Same is happening with Nitish Reddy as well. He's either done a batting performance or a bowler. Washington Sundar batted but bowled 6 overs. You need consistency. Where if Jadeja is doing 23 overs and still being able to bat, obviously experience is on his side, but you also need to understand that if these guys have also come with some sort of experience, they have played in Ranji.
Correct.
They are bowling specialists and batting specialists in their respective state teams also. They have played that sort of pressure in IPL where they have played. So that is my mindset on the all-rounders thing, and we need to find one ASAP.
And what other option could we have in, like, okay, these three players we have mentioned them, but what are the other options which you think are good from Indians perspective then?
I don't have a list of all the all-rounders that we have in the country.
But okay, I was asking about the top of the mind. Like,
what I can say is, if you have an exhaustive list, and then you have 3-4 players that you select, for example, the same
but
three
but
players that
I
we
think
talked about.
I think if
You need to throw
there
some
was an
more responsibilities.
all-rounder which was performing well consistently, then you could have also named him up, I mean, instantly, right? So I think this is a problem then, isn't it? Because you see, you watch
How about
we
Akshar Patel? Like when was the
Akshar
last
Patel,
time
yes,
he-
Akshar Patel.
Uh,
Akshar Patel is a good all-rounder, and he's
True.
been part of India.
and he has done
But-
pretty well, I think.
Yeah, but same. So I'm not saying that. See, all-rounders are not built in one day. That's for sure. These three people will also glorify India someday or the other. But what you need to do is, if they're back, for example, what happened with Washington Sundar was he played, he good knock as a batsman, went on a bowling side, bowled 6 overs. You should have thrown a little bit more responsibilities, asked him to bowl a couple of more overs, seen where he would have gone. He was under the radar. I'm not saying that his economy was around 4.8, 4.9, and he wasn't giving that many runs. We could have seen if he could have bowled a couple more overs. Slowly and gradually throw more responsibilities, because you will make one good player out of him. Because the basics are already there. They know how to bat, they know how to bowl. It's just about getting more and more experience.
I think Hardik Pandya also was a good option, but I think due to injuries and all, I think he has been out now.
Yeah.
That,
I think he should be part of the test. He's done great in tests as well. And what he's gone through over the past 2 years, and then coming back from there, tremendous. It takes a lot of courage what he's gone through and then come back as.
Correct. Okay, and I think if so, and what do you think, like, from the England's perspective, who can they rely on? Because Broad is not there. Broad got retired, and Anderson got retired. So and they are okay. In the last match, the pitch was very flat, so I won't go there. But still, who can be a proper wicket taker for them, or who can create pressure from the start to the on the Indian batsman, right?
I think Jofra Archer would return back.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm keen on seeing. Um,
Okay.
and
Yeah, so
Woakes
Archer, yeah, Archer
was
for sure. Archer is there, but coming back from injury, yeah, we could
Yeah, it will be interesting to watch like what's gonna
yeah, I
move
think
because such a
right
long
now we
break.
can't expect exactly what we are going to see from him. And but the other bowlers, okay. So if Archer comes in, first of all, who is the bowler who get replaced from the squad?
see for me, Pant goes out because he's done good. He's done in the absence of Archer. He's done great, but I would still take him out and then bring in Archer. And there are a couple of names that I think they have. I think Atkinson's and Bethel as
Yeah.
well, right? So it's a good side. It's and then you still have Woakes and you will still have Ben Stokes as
Yes.
bowlers. I would still have Shoaib within the team because he's the only spinner that they'll have.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, seems like I don't see that there will be too many changes in England side, because they have created a very core group of players already there, and they back them very well right now, which probably in few months coming down the line, India will also have a very strong core team.
Yeah, and coming to the batting part, in the last test match at Lords against England, um, Joe Root scored 180 in the first
Yeah.
innings, right? But in the first two matches, we haven't seen that side of Root, right? Of course, it has been 4 years, so the form goes in, goes out. But can we expect something like that again in this match?
See, I will not take anything away from Joe. He's been part of the Fab Four for years, and if somebody who's uh, being a flag bearer of Test cricket ahead of Kohli, it has been Joe Root. He's played a lot of Test cricket. Uh, Unfortunately, the two tests hasn't performed that great. Uh, Nothing on the caliber that I'm expecting him to perform. But at the same time, being a true Indian, if he doesn't perform, good for us.
Yeah, of course, good for us. And I mean, they have a good yeah, they have a good batting lineup. Duckett is
Yeah,
there.
they have a good lineup.
Duckett is there.
You
Smith
need to also
scored
understand that
great.
they've chased almost all.
Yeah, I think
chased all
last
the-
match only
Correct.
Jamie Smith I think almost took the game away.
Yes, in the first inning
Yeah,
he performed
correct, correct.
phenomenal. He was phenomenal, and in the second innings also he tried to carry the team out, but yeah, he couldn't. Of course, he got
The
out for
score was
88.
like not a
Yeah, the score was
achievable
too high to
target.
achieve. Yes,
And probably he needed somebody else to help him out there as well.
correct,
People
correct.
were not able to stick around.
Yeah, the
If
top
even
order
one
in
person.
both the innings fell very short. I mean, they
Yeah.
got out too early to to manage the pressure of the humongous score they had to chase.
Yeah.
And yeah, and okay, so I think we should talk about Ravi Shastri's comment also, Rohit. If like yesterday, you saw a podcast, right? So he
Yeah,
was
so I think what
yeah, please continue.
Yeah, I think what he was trying to mention is ki, like he was, I think, trying to mention that ki from last few years, whenever basically the discussion came because I think somebody had commented about the pitch that this pitch was a Asian pitch, like basically something like that, and that gave a upper
The
hand to the India.
Edgbaston pitch, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
And so, but I think the reply to that, what Rishabh was telling was that whenever England tried to make a two like a fast bowler friendly pitch, India has been actually done well. Actually, India has almost won most of the games, even though England thought that they have a better fast bowler. So basically, he was trying to mention that I think our fast bowling lineup is
Okay.
better than England on a.
Okay, yeah, that is. I think that's right for now. But past, I don't agree with him actually. So if you
Say,
see
but
see in
what Ravi
2000
Shastri wants to
in 2011 India lost 4-1 in 2014 if I'm not wrong. India lost 4-0.
No, so he was
Right.
not talking about the full what you say every match. What he was trying to say is that whenever England tried to beat cheeky in the pitch basically
Okay.
management and then try to become a two of a bowling friendly pitch with respect to being a fast bowler pitch.
But generally, that's the case, right? In England, the pitches are more bowling friendly, and I still am not sure about what Ravi Shastri was trying to say, but we don't have a very good track record in England.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. That's true.
So
That's true, but I think what Ravi Shastri wanted to convey was the past captaincy that was led by Virat. We were very good in our pace department at that point in time.
in the last
And
series,
what-
yeah, we did better. We
and
drew
what
the
we
series.
have
Yeah.
tried, yeah. So what Virat has predominantly done is we were not heavily reliant on pacers. If you see any captain prior Virat, we always had the same sort of a combination where we were playing with 5 bowlers, 2 spinners, and 3 fast bowlers. But Virat brought in that mentality of having similar to Australia or England, West Indies, where you have 4 fast bowlers, predominant fast bowlers. I'm not talking about part-time bowlers, predominantly 4 fast bowlers, and those guys have given you results. And because of that, now you see that Bumrah, Siraj coming in and have gained that sort of a popularity. But it started there. On the pitch wise, cheeky pitch, yeah, countries tend to curate that, but it can go either ways. If you, there's a very simple concept. You make one pitch, try to make a more bowler-oriented pitch, a bit more of rolling, it will just destroy the pitch. And probably that's what has happened to Edgbaston as well. They did more of rolling, and just made it a dusty pitch. Simple as that.
Okay.
And it can always backfire. Cricket in itself is a game of uncertainty. One fine day, one batsman sees the ball a little bit bigger, and one fine day, the bowler just finds the pitch excitingly interested. Whatever he's bowling, he finds his rhythm. So yeah.
It reminds me of the ads, Sehwag, the life insurance ads. Sehwag used to come, right? Sehwag Yuvraj. जब तक बल्ला चल रहा है.
But that's true. But that is true. I have played sort of cricket, and I can just tell you, on a very good day, I can hit the same bowlers for sixes, and on a very bad day, the same bowlers would just take my wicket off. And that is to do with the fact that where you are mentally, how physically fit you are on that day, everything.
Correct.
Was there a quarrel?
Correct.
Did you
lot
did something
of
wrong?
things are there. Yeah.
Lot of
variables
so, yeah.
are there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I so as a captain, if England or India wins the toss tomorrow, so what should they do? First batting, first bowling.
See, I think India should bat first.
Okay.
That has worked. I think unlike Kohli, Gill prefers to give a bigger score, create that big numbers on the board, put the numbers on the board, and then let the bowlers do their job. That has worked for him, and I would want to see that. Chasing wise, we have chased numbers, but I would still want to see a very big total on the board so that the batsmen are relaxed. They put a score, let
Yeah, that's
England
something to add the pressure. But what based on the conditions? I mean, if will they be batting friendly like in Edgbaston?
to be honest, I don't have an answer for that.
No, what do you
Because
predict? I mean, no one has the answer, right?
no. I had an answer for
what if there
if
is
you would have.
overcast condition, right?
No. So Mohit, we spoke about Edgbaston offline, right?
Mhm.
My uh,
Yeah,
I
we were
gave you
way
very
we
clarity.
our prediction was way off, way off.
It was not
Yeah.
way off. We were like what 180 degrees from
Yeah.
what happened actually. Okay.
Yes.
I wanted India to bowl first,
So
which
so first our
probably
assumption
Gill
was
or
that the pitch is going to be a bit on the greener side, so it would help in the
yes,
seam also. And I think the effect of air was also we were counting in, but it I think in this match it wasn't there that much, right? So
correct.
yeah.
So that's you've just said exactly what I said. So hence, I'm not predicting anything in terms of the pitch because now I've just left everything to the curator to decide what he wants. Obviously, some seam because it's an English pitch. I am assuming that it will be a little bit. There will be a little bit of grass. I want it to be swinging so that we have a very competitive match. I want the ball to swing. I want to see that coming in because we will be playing with our full strength. We'll have Bumrah there. We'll have Siraj. We'll have Prasidh Krishna. We'll have other players as well. But it's always good to have a competitive match, right?
Yes, yes. That's what people come to see, a competitive match and a match uh, one on one with that adrenaline rush. So I think that's an
Yeah, like
experience
you
you
don't
can't
want either
compare.
it to be a full like a batting pitch or bowling pitch where like
Yes,
like
but
you
but
know.
but like from the sorry to interrupt. Rohit, sorry. Yeah, so from the
Go ahead.
last match, I mean, would it change the way the curator creates the pitch because they, I mean, if they overdid the pitch in the last match, right? So they would have they would not do exactly what they did in Edgbaston, right? So, so bowling in the first innings, wouldn't it be more preferable for a team?
Not
Okay. I think we should wait and watch. But still, I want some prediction. So okay. So what can we expect from day one? Like lot of runs or lot of wickets? I think we should end on that at least.
Oh.
Yeah, we are not betting money on it. Yeah, matlab, get something.
No, but see, I don't want to be way off. We will see a couple of wickets for sure. If it's either ways, whichever team bats first, we will see some sort of seam movement there coming into picture. I'm not assuming a lot of runs to be scored on the first day, but a very conservative approach, if taken, yes, you would see that a platform being created for day two.
Okay, but
So I would assume
even
that
if so first of all, I think that's the defensive approach you are taking, which India takes with the
no, it's not
all-rounders.
a defensive approach. See, yes, you
And
need to
with the
understand that
prediction
if it's a
also.
seaming pitch, no. So if I'm assuming that okay, India plays, if we are not very conservative in our approach in terms of leaving the right balls, we will see a quick wicket succession. Okay, if it's a similar track than what Lords has always provided, it has been a seaming track, right? With somewhat of a gripping for the spinners as well. You will see a little bit of gripping, okay, which will come handy for Shoaib. And he's been that cheeky bowler. often bit when he comes. He has bowled that in that sense.
Okay.
So that's what my prediction would be.
Okay.
I'm not assuming a blasting of runs from day one that was there. A little conservative would be something that I'm assuming.
Okay. And Rohit, what do you expect?
Yeah, I think if I see the weather condition, it says that it's gonna be mostly sunny, so no overcast condition. So I feel like it's gonna be a good batting pitch. So yeah, if India bats first, I think India will try to go for maybe I think 300 plus runs in the first day, maybe.
Okay. Okay. Great. And okay. And we have one comment like, what if Pant was the captain in the Indian team? I think it is more about the team selection or the approach. Is it very premature to think that Pant could have been a
Actually,
good
after
captain?
Rohit Sharma retired, I was also thinking Pant to be the top runner for the captaincy, or Bumrah. Actually, I was thinking Bumrah, like obvious reasons because he can't play every match, so that I understand. But I actually did not understand why, why not Pant and why Gill.
Oh, see, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not being very conservative because it's a very if and buts sort of a condition. Why Gill? Why Pant? Gill has produced results. Pant, on the contrary, has been given that opportunity. He has produced some results, but some days he hasn't. I think it's more to do with the fact that when he's not the captain, I'm talking about Pant, he's not. He can play his natural game. His natural game is being carefree. Okay. And with Gill, I think he himself is a very orthodox player, and he plays in that style where he's very orthodox, right? So his batting does not get affected by that sort of a pressure. He's not restricted to not playing the first ball in the six. Okay. So I think that's probably the call that they have taken. They want Pant to play his natural game, not get into the stress of leading the team. And as a character also, Pant will always be there to lighten the mood. You would not want a captain to do that. Obviously, there will be some small banters going within the team, but prefer having a little stricter captain.
It's more about having a more composed captain.
But don't you think, given the kind of performance that Bumrah has given and what all sort of things Bumrah has done for the country, he deserved this captaincy?
See, what the question was a choice between Gill and okay. If you now include Bumrah, I'm all up for Bumrah to be the captain, but you also need to understand that fast bowlers, injury prone, are always in one sentence. They're not two different sentences. That's one. Batsmen still have a longevity with their career. What you would want to do is have a captain who can at least stay there for a decade. Okay, so that there's a full transition that happens. And then start creating the team around himself. That makes it a little bit more in that zone. If your captain if we have Bumrah as a captain and you have Gill as your vice captain, okay. What's going to happen is when Bumrah is not there, then Gill becomes the captain. The power would then shuffle between Gill and Bumrah. You don't want that to happen. That happening for one or two matches is a different ball game, but that happening every series
Hmm.
would lead to a very big chaos.
Yeah, it makes
So
sense.
that's why you don't have elections every year. You have it for 5 years, right? If we start doing that every year, then just assume what will happen for the country.
Okay. Okay, I think that politics is a good point to end the stream, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, I okay. So I have got. So I think bowling will be preferred by either captain, which I'm expecting that the first day is going to have a few more wickets than the other two matches. But let's see. Let's see. That's my prediction.
But I am still sticking with the fact that if Gill is if winning the toss, either way, if he loses toss and gets to bat,
Yeah.
he should. Because I think that India, carefree, the players that we have, without any pressure, are more dominant, irrespective of the pitch. Now I'm just taking away the whole pitch spectrum out of it. Just by pure talent that we have, Jaiswal on any track is lethal. Rahul, same. You have Gill performing very well on that. And we all understand that if Pant is playing on the first day, then he will play it like T20.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Okay. But as a bowling lineup, I would also say that, okay, there will be fast track, but you will also see spin coming into picture. So if we play with one additional spinner also, I think that should be fine. We already play with two spinners, which is one Washington Sundar and one Jadeja. But if we somehow bring in Kuldeep Yadav also, I think there will be some sort of spin coming in for him as well.
Okay. Okay.
But yes.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. What the
Yeah.
team selection is. So I think there are a lot of ifs and buts right now. Yeah. We'll.
Just about 10 hours away from that getting clarified.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we'll wait for tomorrow. We'll connect again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So thanks, guys.
Okay.